Welcome everybody to episode 6 of Digital for Everyone. Tonight we're going to talk about LinkedIn, why the hype. My guest Jared Best Mitchell is going to be joining us shortly, and he's going to tell us a bit about this. You know, as always, Digital for Everyone is this show where we talk about how different aspects of digital marketing, and we kind of deep dive into one aspect per show. Welcome, Little Miss Muffin Cup. How are you today? Digital for Everyone really focuses on making sure that everyone here learns something new when they join and when they view it. Hey, Jared, welcome. Let's get Jared in the chat here. Shortly. Great. I'm glad you're excited, Ms. Muffin Cup. We're excited as well.
Hey, that was
Jared,
quick.
my friend, how are you? Nice bed. I see you. I see you have the depth. You don't have the width, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's all based on what people prefer. Is it? Some people like the narrow look.
Yes.
Your beard is massive. What the heck? Barbers open this week.
My guy he's not open yet. Welcome, Camille Belkan. So Jared, how are you? It's been a while. Let's let a few more people join in before we really kick things off. Andre Sunshine.
It's been a very long while.
Yes. It's been 4 or 5 years since we kicked in. Yes. Ryan Wilson. Doobie Sue. Ryan's a consistent viewer. Welcome back. Matthew, my cousin from all the way out in New York under lockdown. How is he doing? Nice.
Hey, Janelle.
Lil Simba, quarter portion. Welcome. People are filing in.
Quarter portion. All right.
She's a bit of a
is one thing you love.
So Jared, for everybody's benefit, really, the Digital for Everyone is a 30-minute show where we kind of dive into one aspect of digital. Because digital is such a broad thing, that it's not possible for anybody to be an expert in everything. So, we've had a few speakers before. I don't know if you know Quincy Ross. He spoke about media neutral ideas. Niall McNish last week spoke about Instagram Live. I know you and Niall would have shared, no, not Niall, Niall's compatriot, Kareem Rockwell would have shared the stage before. So you would know some of these people, and they're just giving their experience about platforms and strategies on platforms that, maybe people just don't have the opportunity to use and stuff like that. So LinkedIn, I think, is an excellent one. Hey, Jamie does Honda, welcome. Hey, Amanda, how is everybody? Okay, so yes, LinkedIn, why the hype, right? I'll just do a little preview and an intro before I let you take it away, guys. Jared is a sales trainer. He's a LinkedIn coach, a LinkedIn content creator, and his LinkedIn profile actually says, need help understanding the world's largest B2B platform. I think what I find is most interesting is that when I hear people talk about it, women often tell me men think LinkedIn is a dating site, and then locally, you're not always sure what to do. So I'm glad that you're going to be here to talk about it, because I think it'll give a lot of insight to everybody. So hey, Dr. Shannon Lee, welcome. She loves that this conversation is happening.
Shannon Lee.
Jared,
my teeth are crooked, but it's white.
All right, Jared, take it away. Talk to us about LinkedIn and why.
Good night, everybody. So let me address the first thing, and this is something I actually speak about a lot in my coaching. Women, I'm very sorry, but there are a lot of men. I can't even say few. There are several men worldwide, locally, who use LinkedIn like a dating site. I do apologize for it, but what I can tell you is do not let that deter you from utilizing the site for its benefits. Just utilize the block feature. I actually encourage women to screenshot the conversation, send it to me, and I'll post it to their HR manager for the men who are harassing you. I take it to that bold step because my thing is, if men are doing this on the platform, women stop engaging on the platform, and then the platform becomes lopsided. It just becomes a bunch of men giving their opinion, and then what's the sense in that? That's not what we're looking for on the platform. And I say it because
Very good point.
A lot of women here could probably agree with me. You could tell me or not. Incidences like this where men are hitting on them on the platform has discouraged them from even engaging in it or even remove their profile entirely. So that's why I take that firm step, because I literally say, if you have somebody harassing you, send it to me. I would literally tag their HR company, their HR manager in a post and say, listen, your staff member is not utilizing this platform in the right way. So
that's a very very proactive approach, and I mean, I'm glad we addressed that immediately, because it's one of the key things that I've heard multiple times from different people. Okay.
Yeah.
So talk to me about LinkedIn.
Right. So here's the thing, and let me always start it off with the stats, right? I've actually been on LinkedIn since about 2009. So yeah, quite a long while, over a decade. But here's the interesting fact everybody should be focused on now, is that in Trinidad and Tobago alone, you have about close to 400,000 users on LinkedIn.
Really? I would not think that it was that high. Okay.
Yep. And especially for everybody out here, if your business in particular is for dealing with B2B, that's the platform that you need to be. Because over the years, LinkedIn has evolved. LinkedIn originally became a site for professionals to network. Then it became great for if you're job hunting. But now the key aspect behind it is that a lot of people use it to sell their products and services. But at the same time, it is literally a huge platform for building your personal brand. Like that there, alone for me, is a lot of people know me on LinkedIn for that. There's three things people know me for, which of course is yellow, sales, and LinkedIn. That's like the three things people know me for.
Sure.
Yeah. So they understand that, and I've been able to build my brand like that over the last, I would say probably about 4 years of constantly talking about LinkedIn, showing people how to use it and letting them understand the benefits. Because like that aspect, if you really use it as a lead generation channel, is huge in terms of your business. Because I can tell you honestly, the calls I get that generate from LinkedIn start like this. Like, hey Jared, my name is X and Y. Got your number from somebody who told me to give you a call. And I know it's their boss, because my second largest category of viewers is executive directors. Decision makers are on this platform. They're very stush, by the way. They don't click like on or comment on your post. But if it's something that you are doing that is valuable to their organization, they delegate it and make sure somebody gets in contact with you. So I can literally tell you that's a daily occurrence for me.
So I just a personal angle. I was, from the last job, I was headhunted through LinkedIn. Again, it's very much the same scenario. You know, I've never had any interactions. There wasn't a like on a post. It was just, I got a call that said, hey, listen, we've seen the work you've done. We want to have a chat. So, I mean, I can see the value there. So talk to me through it. Like, for anybody here, let's assume they know very little about LinkedIn. Where's the first place do we start? Like, what are we talking about there?
Your profile. So anybody who signs up to LinkedIn, like the main thing I want to tell you to focus on is have a great headshot. So let me stress on men with this. Men, stop posting pictures from your wedding. That is not a profile picture. Like, get a professional headshot done.
I did. Those are professional headshots. Thank you very much.
No, not yours. But I could honestly tell you, because I did a test with it already. About 50% of men, the picture that they take is one that is from a formal event. And the reason why I stress on it is that your profile picture should be how somebody should see you in real. So if you don't wear a suit every day, I don't think your profile picture should be in a suit. However, it should be like how people are seeing us now. Like, if you have a great action shot of yourself, cool, because I know some of your people are in digital, some of your people are in different fields of social media and stuff. So I like those kind of animated things. But a great profile picture looks exactly like how I am here. From the chest up, you get about 60% of your screen and you get that in. The other key aspect now is your headline. Everybody who's watching this, let me tell you, don't put your job title as your headline. Your headline is the purpose that you serve and what you help your clients achieve. So as you said when you pointed out my headline is, do you need help understanding the world's largest B2B platform? Like, you directly message people so that they can understand. because like, and I actually help persons create those things. So for example, I did one for my friend who works United Nations, where her headline was harnessing the power of the United Nations to protect the Caribbean's oceans. Then I have another friend,
Okay.
who I did last week, and that was her one was example creating market access for creating multinational market access for pharmaceutical organizations. So that's just to kind of give you an understanding of what you do. Yeah.
Welcome, Nicole. So what you would say then that your headline is kind of like what you want to be known for.
Yep.
Per se. Yeah.
And actually what you what you help your clients achieve. That's what the headline is
right.
what you help them achieve. The outcome is all your clients care about. So if you could explain that in the headline, it's definitely going to generate interest.
All right. Okay. So do you think everybody should have a LinkedIn? I mean, just how everybody has a Facebook profile?
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't matter if you're B2B, B2C, if you're a sole trader, anything.
Doesn't matter.
You think?
I found my welder on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And when I approached him, I asked him, how much business do you get from LinkedIn? He's like, about 3 paying gigs a week. And he doesn't even post. He posts probably like once or twice a week. Just having a profile alone is the most. You don't even need to post content, like, because I post probably about twice or 3 times a day. You don't even need to do that. If you have a fine, well-tuned profile, that's all you need, because you just said it. I actually don't. You actually said it. You didn't post. You just got headhunted, and it was through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All you need to do is have a great profile, and that's it.
So Little Miss Muffin Cup actually brought up a really interesting question. A lot of people we know do multiple things, right? So how do you get 2 to 3 titles in your headline?
So what you do is that if it is that you honestly do have 2 or 3 headlines, because I know Miss Little Muffin Cup she does baking and she's also a flight attendant. So you kind of have a mixture of both. What I honestly do is that I always say which one is the most important one that you really want to focus building on. That should be the headline. And then what you always do on LinkedIn, I'm sure you've seen it, is where after you put what your headline is, there's a straight line, then you put the general industries that you work in, because remember, that's how recruiters and people find you. So that's why I put like LinkedIn coach and sales trainer, because those are terms people search for you on to find you. Yeah. And let me stress this one thing as well, which is why you need to have a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is highly ranked in SEO search. So if you have a LinkedIn profile, it ranks higher than anything else, and sometimes for most persons, even your website. So if it is that you don't have a website, people would not find you based on sometimes what you have on Facebook. They might find you based on what you have on like a published article. But if you Google yourself, you might be scared based on what you see. But if you have your LinkedIn profile showing first, then that's how it is that people actually find you, and that always make sure you make an impact, because it's the first impression.
That's so very interesting. You know, I've Googled myself once or twice before just to see what comes up, and you're right. You know, it never crossed my mind, but LinkedIn has come up in top 3, results. So that's definitely important. So just to recap before we go on, you want a good headshot that shows you in action, not necessarily like a suit. You want to make sure your headline is what. Sorry, the profile picture must be you. In other words, if you show up for an interview or somebody sees you, like at work, it should be literally how you are. Right. It should be more natural than sort of overdressed. And, you know, you're not going to pick a welder who's, not necessarily you're not going to pick a welder, but you're not going to expect a welder to show up in a business suit.
Correct.
Kind of scenario. Janelle David said, Jared, you're dropping so many gems. So you're getting kudos already. And Dr. Shenali says, no carnival costume pics then. I don't think I want my dentist in a wire bra. But
the thing is, carnival bands can be on LinkedIn. Like Jules is on LinkedIn. And like I remember when I saw Jules on LinkedIn, I was like, Jules, you have such a huge opportunity to go into a different aspect of carnival that people haven't ever seen. You could actually be on this page just talking the business of carnival, because that is the side that people don't see. They see the fun and everything, but if you just come out there talking about the business of carnival, like I could tell you, people, you don't understand like what is happening on LinkedIn right now. Like that's what I'm telling you. You don't even need to post content like me. You can literally just have a profile and you would generate business. Like that is it. You have nothing else to do except just generate business if you have your profile set up right. Like that is
So
literally it. LinkedIn is so rich right now in terms of opportunity.
being well set up, and you don't have a lot to. If once you're well set up, you can get a lot out of that. Then that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Once you're well set up, you can have a lot. Yeah.
Ms. Muffin Cup, if you just shoot the questions in the chat, and we'll try to get to them. You were saying that LinkedIn is very rich right now. Do you have any like stats? Like, what are the numbers on LinkedIn? You said 400,000 people in Trinidad use it, but
right.
in the wider Caribbean, what information do you have?
I'll break it down worldwide. So worldwide right now, it's about 680 million users. It's the largest B2B platform in the world, and it's the largest B2B generation platform. So a lot of businesses literally, like how people do sales, they have a sales team that's dedicated to approaching clients only on LinkedIn. There are companies who literally do LinkedIn training strategies for companies so they can maximize their sales opportunities and their lead gen from there. In the Caribbean, we have about just over 400,000 users in Jamaica as well. Jamaica has about 440. St. Lucia, I think, has about just around 100,000. Barbados has around 40,000. I believe Guyana has around...
Sorry, you're breaking up just a little bit. Let's just slow down 1 second. Just a little bit,
Sorry.
just a little bit. It might be my side, it might be your side, but let's just...
It might be mine. I don't
It's
know.
okay.
What internet are you using? Call names. What internet are you using?
I am using my Digicel line, and it has not failed me yet.
I'm using my Digicel. I have 100 meg connection, so let's hope it's not playing up tonight. It should not.
Okay. Ms. Muffin Cup asked a pretty good question. I'm sure, like anybody else who has a LinkedIn profile, they get tons of requests from random people they've never met.
Yep.
How do you gauge who to connect with, or do you just click accept willy-nilly?
For me, originally I used to click accept all the time, but actually I'm glad my good friend Jaleesa just joined, because I actually started following her strategy. So what I do now is that I accept people only if they're active on their profile, because put it this way, I don't want 20,000 users if 19,800 of them don't log in and check their profile, because it means that when I post content, nobody sees it. So I only connect to people who are active on their profile. So even today, somebody sent me, it was a personalized connection request about content I posted, but they didn't engage with it. And when I looked at their profile, they don't engage on content. So I don't want to add you to my network. So I add anyone, and that's only because the service I provide is universal. I could sell it from Trinidad. But if you provide a physical service, you sometimes you may want to be picky about who you add. But at the same time, I have a rule. I add anyone. I only block you when you try and sell me off the gate. Like if you try and sell, I just instant.
If the immediate
that's what it's about.
Okay. So I mean, I think the difficult thing here is that there are two sides of LinkedIn really. There's the personal brand, as you mentioned, which could be your personal business. And then there's the company side. So let's take a dive. I think we got into a bit about that one. I don't want to touch on the company side just yet. Yeah. What I'd like to do is so let's go step by step for the how to use it to build your brand. So we've got the headshot, we've got the headline. We know what people. We want you to have a well set up profile, which includes filling out all your information. And what you want to see employers or possible customers say. So what else do I need to know about setting up my LinkedIn so that I can go after this and fix my LinkedIn profile?
So I'll give you the full breakdown. If you go onto your LinkedIn profile, there's a section that you would see called About that you could actually add or manage your sections. If you every single there, that is literally your step-by-step guide. If you finish every section in there, it literally gives you the opportunity to say, you'll see where you've reached an all-star ranking on your profile. That means you have everything completed, and it means that you're optimized so people can find you easier. So once you go through that section in particular, you're good to go.
So it's just that simple. It's go on there, follow the directions, fill it out.
Follow the directions. And here's a couple of things that I like in LinkedIn in particular. So when you log on to LinkedIn, you have your background banner. That's the first thing people see. I recommend get a nice image for there. Then there's your headshot. Then there's your headline. To the right of that, if you're looking, you get to see your education on where you're working currently. Right after that, you see the About section. The About section is just as important. So what I recommend for everybody is, one, don't talk about yourself in third person, because I see a lot of people saying Jared Best-Mitchell is a seasoned sales professional. No, it's not somebody narrating your story. Say it in first person, but then say it in the key format, which is who you are. And I always think your first sentence should be, what is your focus for 2020? Like, what is your focus right now? And then use that in terms of going after. So what is my purpose? Who am I? What do I do? Why do I do it? What's your that format? And then you add like 6 or 7 of your skills. That gives everybody a kind of idea. I know what you're some of the questions. So the question is asking a question. So is it necessary to post on LinkedIn? Do more people see your profile if you post regularly? Yes, yes, and yes. The aspect of building your personal brand all comes in the content that you actually put out onto the platform. So that is actually the key thing. And there are various ways. Like for me, I live on video. And I'm pretty sure I still have a world record on LinkedIn. I would love to see somebody who has it before me. But I like to use video more than anything else versus written text, despite the fact that written text gets you way more engagement. I just think that when you're visual, and anybody who's here in branding will understand that visual, people actually trust your face when they see you more. So this has actually got me to go into opportunities where I can literally just sign the contract because people see me. They just want to hear 2-3 sentences to verify that it's exactly who I am. And that's it. They're ready to start. That's it.
Because they've seen the work.
Yeah. Oh, this now popped in my head. Let me make mention of this. If you're thinking of why should I post content on LinkedIn, here's an important reason. Content on LinkedIn lives longer than on any other platform. So where it is that you might have to post content, it's just how the algorithm works, because I still get notifications for stuff I've posted like a week and a half ago. Like I still have stuff that is trending, that is running within all the different streams, because that's how the algorithm is working right now. And it's simply because of interesting stats. Even though there are 680 million users on LinkedIn, only 1% actually create content on the platform. So,
so the competition for content is not as high.
It's like I always tell persons this: LinkedIn right now is real estate. Imagine somebody tell you to have prime real estate that you could grab. You just have to block off the area and that's it. And people not grasping that, which is why I say it's so rich for opportunity. Anybody, like everybody who I meet and I coach right now, literally does not do. Hey, KFC. So everybody who's on the platform right now, if they just start posting about their brand, I emphasize with them that there's nobody else doing what you're doing on the platform locally and what I've seen internationally. So trust me, it's best. It's ripe for opportunity. Ripe is the best thing ever.
So another point that I'd actually like to bring up. So obviously, COVID, a lot of people have been either furloughed, laid off, and things like that. And finding a new job would obviously be, it's difficult for everybody. It's always difficult. But how would you recommend someone go about doing that after they've fixed their profile, they've really sorted it out? What strategies would you, welcome Pizza Hut as well, what strategies would you suggest they use? I'm getting hungry. I'm going to have to eat after this.
I think so.
What strategies would you recommend to people looking to either further their career or just find a new job?
All right. So here's the hard thing. Yes, Nicole could actually schedule content to LinkedIn, which is using Hootsuite or any of these social media tools. I just post live because I just like to post live. If you're looking for a job on LinkedIn right now, it's extremely competitive internationally and locally. What I recommend you do, and funny enough, I remember somebody did this back in 2018, which I thought was brilliant. His resume was a video of he made over iGov or either TT Connect's website. Like he bought a domain and everything and did it over, and all you saw in the comments was send me a resume, send me a resume, send me a resume, send me a resume from IT manager, director. That's all you saw. It's so competitive right now. Sending a resume out is not enough. I would tell you this, and I've learned it from a couple of the sales trainers I follow. If you really want a job, and I think it doesn't matter which level you're at. Let's just say Pizza Hut is hiring a brand manager, right?
Right.
What's up, Pizza? Say you're hiring a brand manager, right? If I really want to get Pizza Hut's attention, I would search everybody who works Pizza Hut and then find out the ones who are active and tag them in a post of why I'm the ideal person, and I would give an example of my work. So it's on the platform. I'm putting myself out there for everybody to see and literally be like, listen, it's because the thing is, everybody has a resume. You need to actually start talking about what I will do when I have the job. That is the difference.
What makes you stand out? Yeah.
Yep, and that's how you actually stand out. And I think, and I've heard, I always remember a story a guy did. He was trying to work for an advertising agency. This is in the States, and this is tell you, I think creativity makes you stand out. He was working in the States. He's trying to get into an advertising agency, and he found out that on Monday meetings, they like to buy donuts from a particular donut shop. He went to the donut shop, got the donuts, and he was able to walk straight into the meeting with the directors.
Yeah.
But what he also did too as well is that he swapped the boxes out. So the box he printed had his resume on the inside. So when they opened it up, his resume was there. That's the kind of impact you need to make on people right now. Nobody's going to accept a resume. Right?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, everybody's resume is the same 2-3 sheets of paper with cover thing, making yourself stand out. So Jamie, before this gets lost in the comments, Jamie Does Honda was asking, what's a post, or what would you consider a good post?
A good post?
Yeah.
It all depends on what your audience responds to. I can honestly tell you on LinkedIn right now, empathy and leadership is what really wins right now. So if it is that you're an HR person and you're very people centered, those persons have a huge success. Like, I don't know if you know the name Bridget Hyacinth.
The name sounds familiar, but tell me more.
Bridget Hyacinth is one of the most, I think she's actually the top or either one of the top 2 most followed people in the world on LinkedIn, and she's a Trinidadian.
Oh, really? Okay.
Born and bred, lives here. And all she posts about is empathy and being kind to people and giving examples from her past work jobs and stuff. That is literally all she does. And that to me, there's one of the key things. So Valin is making a good suggestion here, which is follow decision makers in the HR company and leave inside comments on their post. Valin, I would take an additional step and literally be like, I would send them an email to say, hi, Robert, my name is Jared. I saw your company had a vacancy for a sales rep, and I noticed that you were the sales manager for the company. Just wanted to send you a message introducing myself. So if you come across my profile or my resume, it kind of rings a bell. Looking forward to the opportunity of meeting with you.
Okay, so it's LinkedIn is about really just being proactive. It cuts out all the noise of Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. It really gives you an opportunity to see and be seen, and to get to the people that make, as Valin brought up, that make the decisions. Okay, so I like it so far. So as a business, right? Where, and I know we don't have a ton of time, but where do you see the opportunity? Yes, you're saying a person should have a profile on LinkedIn, but what would you say as a business? Jared, I have a small business. Maybe I'm a welder. Should I have a business profile on LinkedIn as well? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, so let me explain the difference, because I see a lot of people making this error.
Yes.
I have a profile on LinkedIn and I have a company page. I see a lot of people taking their company and making it a profile, which is a wrong thing to do.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, people want to see your face. So we have Pizza Hut and KFC here. I could tell you for sure, and the stats show it, company pages don't get engagement on LinkedIn.
For sure.
I can tell you you can look at all the job recruitment pages on LinkedIn now. When you see a post that has really high engagement, they had to pay to boost it. Natural engagement comes from the profile. So I've told, I was mentioning this to Guardian Life the other day. Perfect example. And I told Guardian Life, you can imagine the ruckus you will cause in the market if you had Dave McLeod doing lives every Friday, just talking insurance, because he's the stalwart. Every insurance company would eventually be flattened with sales because everybody would just be drawn to it. A lot of people don't understand that impact of the individual is more important than the company today when it comes to building your brand. That is what is going to generate more sales for you. So hands down, if you could get like, even if I'm the face, I won't post stuff on my company page. The only thing I'll tell people to do is that on your company page, you could go for a hard sell on your company page, advertise your product and services, boost it. But you as the profile and the individual, all I do is just share my knowledge. All I do is share knowledge and experiences and things that I hear and what I know. That's how you get business. That's literally all you do.
So you prove your value and sort of experience then. It's one thing to say, listen, I have a degree from this place. It's another thing to demonstrate that knowledge and efficiency in whatever sector you're in.
Yep. So you said it correct, yeah, because at the end of the day, there's so many people with degrees. Trust me, you're not going to stand out if your focus to sell people is that I have a degree or a master's. A lot of people have it. And let me answer this quick question from Nicole. And by the way, shout out to Nicole. She uses Instagram. Fantastic. I love her and another guy called Javon Fleming from Sagicor. They absolutely kill it. So let me explain this question.
Sure.
Yes, no matter what industry you are in, you can find the right type of clients on LinkedIn for it.
Okay. So
it
anything.
Matter. Anything. Okay. It does not matter.
And Jaleesa, John is just echoing your sentiments that show your face, that people buy from people. And I agree with you. So it was very interesting to hear you say that. So you're saying essentially, yes, have a LinkedIn business profile, but the activity really needs to come from the people that run the business. Then that makes it.
So want to hear from you.
Okay. Great. Jared, this has been enlightening for me. I thought I knew LinkedIn fairly well.
We don't have to stop at the 30-minute mark. If you have more questions, shoot away. I put aside an hour for you, horse.
I appreciate that. I don't want to. Guys, let's just go it over, right? Let's just recap the main points so far. Yes, definitely have a LinkedIn profile. It is worth it no matter what industry you're in, right? So Jared, take it away. Let's do the key 5 points or whatever. So yes, definitely. Go ahead, Jared.
No, you summarize it. So yes, have the LinkedIn profile. Yes, have it. Right. No question.
Yes, have the LinkedIn profile. Fill out the profile all the way.
Yep, all the way.
Right. We want to make sure you have a good headshot that is sort of you in action, not a headshot from your wedding that you're stuck in there just because you're wearing a suit. Your headline. What do you want potential employers and people to know you for?
That's correct.
Produce content about what you know. It doesn't have to be, or produce or engage. Be active then, because the platform is not as inundated like, let's say, Facebook, where tons of things happen all over the place and content gets lost in a few minutes. Things like that. And then as a company, definitely have a brand page where you can do a hard sell. But as Jaleesa John said that people buy from people. So make sure that your profile is where you are putting out the information and, show what you know. As we said, everybody's going to have a degree. Everybody's going to have things on their resume. You next to the other guy isn't going to be a difference until you can actually come out and say, this is what I know. This is the information that I share because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. And I think that about covers it. There was a question coming in.
Fashion mode. Yes, LinkedIn uses analytics. So there's standard analytics you have on the page. I actually use a company called Shield, because Shield gives you like granular analytics, like bare bone straight for analytics of file, and that allows me to actually approach people better when I actually want to prospect, because especially if you're utilizing it for sales, that is a huge aspect that you want to make sure you understand who is my content reaching out to, because like I always tell persons, if everybody always has this one type of content that scores, you need to multiply it, and you also need to make sure that when you're multiplying it, the right audiences is seeing it at every stage. So the analytics is super important if it is that you are using LinkedIn as a sales tool, that you definitely utilize it. I know, we answered Nico Kassoon's question already. Just making sure we answered everything.
Yeah, sure. All right. Well,
All right.
Jared,
Yes.
this was super enlightening. I think everybody got a lot out of it. KFC and Pizza, thank you for joining. Everybody else who joined, thank you for coming out. Next week we have DeAndre Wilson, who is a YouTuber, going to talk to us about developing content on YouTube. But Jared, everybody follow Jared Best Mitchell on LinkedIn. You can look him up.
Yep.
I think you just dropped your link right there.
Handle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your handle right there. And
Thanks,
as usual,
Jamie. Thanks, Valine.
this will be up a little later today. Well, right after this, so you can review it if you missed it. Jared, thank you again. This was invaluable. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. I just grateful for the opportunity, man. Because it's one thing I love talking about is LinkedIn.
For sure. We love having you. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Till next week.